Make sure you check out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfella One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. Appreciate everybody for checking back in. Motor City Sports Talk, your boy CJ Goodfella. And I know one of the former Lions teammates, I didn't get the name, said, and it sparked the video idea, said that Kenny Galloday can be as good as Odell Beckham. And people say, oh, no way he can be as good as Odell Beckham. I beg to differ. I think Kenny Galloday can be an elite receiver. Now, I love to hear you guys' opinion at any point in the video. Leave it in the comment section. You know, can Kenny Galloday be an elite top 5 receiver? When you say elite, I'm talking top 5 in the league. And remember, guys every season, every week, or every day damn near in the NFL, off-season or in-season, preseason camp, lose a step. You could be Antonio Brown Monday, and come Friday, it could be an injury. You could be nowhere in the top 10 when you come back. And right now, for the record, my top 10 probably is comprised of, in no particular order, Hopkins probably will be number 1 in my opinion, best receiver. Julio, Hopkins, those would be the 2 best I've seen, and probably AJ Green will probably be in there. And I'm probably forgetting some guys out there. Michael Thomas from last year, if he builds on this year, he can squeeze in there as well too. So some of them dudes, Antonio Brown is definitely in there, even with his attitude. But some of those guys I think that's in the top 5 right now. And will Kenny Galloday prove to be a top 5 receiver next year? Maybe not. Maybe he moves into the top 15, the top 10. But he showed better durability last year, and I think that was a huge step. Being more durable, keeping up physically with the physicality in the NFL, being more physical with DBs. And I think he's continuing to learn. He's going to continue to build and be a better receiver, can improve on route running. He was able to play the slot a little bit better this year and play on outside. He was a matchup problem. With his player fly coming back and Marvin Jones, you know, I think they could tear the league up, especially if Amendola or Brandon Powell can be ineffective in the slot. And if they get TJ Hawkinson or Noah Fant or any respectable tight end to really control the middle of the field, I would look for Jones and Galloday to probably be one of the up-and-coming, probably one of the most premier 1-2 punches on receiver in the league. And like I said before, it comes down to running the ball for the Lions, blocking for the Lions. But for Kenny Galloday, I don't see why not. You know, his ability to get down the field, stretch the field, his ability to, I think they should showcase more of him in the screen back game. You know, his agility, his ability to really create separation is going to even get better with time when he continue to learn to run the routes. But I don't really see no DB going to be able to match up one-on-one to him in this league. No longer the Chuck rule, you only can press 5 yards, and then you got to let him go. I don't really see them being able to do that, especially if he gets some help. They feature more Kerryon and Theo in the passing attack, you know, short, intermediate, across the middle. They get Jones going vertical, running underneath, get Amendola working the middle of the field. Whoever tight end they get, work the middle of the field, get the running game going. Most important, block for Stafford. And Stafford is able to play action and get wider windows. I think if they get the running game going and everybody steps up and be healthy, do that game, I think that's a huge part of a receiver being good. Not only having the physical talent. For years, DeAndre Hopkins had this physical talent when Tom Savage was quarterback, when a few other guys were there. He had the talent and he would make amazing plays. But not only when Deshaun Watson got there, he started to get recognized as a top 5 receiver, and the numbers started to add up to, you know, what everybody's seeing in spurts with subpar quarterbacks. And with every top receiver, you know, they needed a good supporting cast. They needed a quarterback to get the ball there. They needed a quarterback that had time to throw. A lot of them had respectable run games, if not great run games. And a lot of them had really good or functional quarterbacks. And for Kenny Galloday, you know, that's a huge part of his maturation process of going from one of the biggest sleepers fantasy-wise and in the league to, I think this year he will arrive as probably one of the better receivers in the NFC North. I know we got Thielen, Diggs, and you got Devontae Adams, but in my opinion, he could be better than all them dudes, you know, because Thielen got Diggs, Thielen got Dalvin Cook, and he got a straight defense in Minnesota, you know, and Devontae Adams, he got Aaron Rodgers and, you know, a few other guys over there that's coming up at receiver. Yeah, but I think Galloday, you know, the physical talent, the speed, the size of him, once he's able to put put the put the route running together, and which he's done last year, and the durability questions behind him, which he done last year. But once all that started coming together, when the physical talent, when the physical talent, meets the mental talent, that's when the athlete's in his prime. That's when the athlete meets his prime. A lot of people just think it's an age thing, but no. When you mentally is at your highest point and physically at your highest point at the same time, I think at that point, that's when a player becomes in his prime. When mentally, he can know the plays, he can run the routes. I mean, he just know coverages, and physically, he still got that youth, that burst, that speed, the catch radius and receivers. When that mental and physical both peak out or peak around the same time, that's when the player becomes in his prime. And with him starting to get a little bit early, build his strength, know his deficiencies, and know what it takes to get there. I think this year he still, even though he a sleeper, people don't really consider him a sleeper no more in the league. I think he still can sneak up on some guys, and I think he should have an amazing year this year. He took the right step he should have had last year. Should have had more numbers between him and Johnson. With everybody going around, going down around Galloday. He should have had huge more numbers last year. But I think with the Golden Tate leaving, with Marvin Jones being there, with him being there, I think he's going to be the vocal point. I said it last year and I said it this year. He was the number one receiver last year. He's going to become the the exclusive numero uno this year. And I think teams are going to have to respect the run game if the Lions get together. And they're going to have to play him Galloday one-on-one with Jones being on the other side of Amendola. And if they get Hockenson, and Hockenson is able to fill those zones, learn the route running, learn the playbook, blocking I think won't be a problem with him. But if he becomes a complete tight end and is able to work the middle, that's something that not too many Lions receivers have had. Even when Calvin was here, Calvin never had a consistent tight end or a consistent offensive coordinator that really schemed for his tight end to work the middle. Let Galloday get support from Powell and Amendola in the slot, working the middle of the field. And Hockenson, Galloday should run wild next year. Marvin Jones will have a great year next year too. I think he'll be physically healthy next year. But Galloday should creep into the top 10 receivers this year, bar none. Galloday, they won't put him in the top 5, even if you have some type of monster MVP type year, because when you talk about top 5 receivers, these are receivers that's done it on a year-to-year basis. They strung good years together. So he probably won't be the creme de la creme or the elite wide receiver that, his numbers will indicate. So they want to say, okay, next season, now Galloday can't sneak up on people. Let's see what they do when they double, when they triple them, or when they roll coverage to a side. And that's cool and dandy, but I expect him to have a huge year. But guess what? He only can go as far as the quarterback and the support the quarterback got around him. If they can run that ball and get Kerryon and C.J. Anderson get Kerryon going in the passing game underneath, and the tight end can work the middle, Amendola can work the middle, Jones and Galloday should kill it underneath and over the top, mixing it in. Real talk, they should really kill it this year, man. It shouldn't be a problem. If Stafford is getting the blocking, he should have big windows. If Anderson and Johnson is rolling, he should have huge windows with Galloday. Galloday, real talk, should have an 80 to 90 catch season with over 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. That's what he should have this year, because he should be the primary target, the number one receiver. They should move him around, inside, outside, playing the opposite side, switching up with Marvin Jones. He should have a monster year this year and creep into the top 10 receivers wise, man. But you never know with health, with however what's going on with Stafford and his situation with his wife. Bless her. I know she's getting ready to go under the knife. Prayers with her. So you really never know. If somebody can go down in training camp or some offensive lineman not clicking. That's been a problem with the Detroit Lions. The offensive line haven't been clicking. So you never really know, because he is only as good as the team offensively around him. But in my opinion, if he work as hard as he did last offseason, this offseason, I think it's really a foregone conclusion that he don't lock up a top 10 receiver spot this year, in my opinion. But like I said before, a lot got to go right. You know what I'm saying? He can't do it out there with third and fifth string receivers or backup offensive lineman or Stafford not getting the protection that he needs. He can't do it by himself. But, just knowing, the approach that he took last offseason, he take that same approach, take it to the next level I see why not. I don't see why he couldn't be a top 10 receiver this year. But hey, it's Motor City Sports Talk. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Appreciate the love and support from everybody. Make sure that subscribe button, bell icon button. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship. Don't forget sharing the video is the best donation you can make. One time for the one time we on.